just crossed the Arctic Circle.
Officially the furthest north I've ever been.
And it's feeling pretty Arctic.
It's cold.
We're the newbies. I'm Tara and this is John. And not so long ago we were married in Antarctica, promising ourselves that we would always prioritise experience over wealth. So here we are. We sold our house, left the city and bought a van which we've converted into our travelling home. In our last episode we strapped on crampons, roped up and headed out onto a glacier. We visited the world's oldest stave church and swam in the bluest of blue lakes. This time, we brave the Arctic weather and head north, high above the Arctic Circle, to Lofoten. Please do like and subscribe. We would love to have you join us.
Raining today, our first real rainy day, probably on the entire trip actually. So, we have a long drive ahead of us to Lofoten Islands. It's going to take probably 2 to 3 days. We think it's going to rain for the next 2 days. So, the plan is drive from here as far north as we possibly can get, via a few pretty exciting places along the way to keep us interested.
With 17 hours of driving ahead of us, we took a slight detour towards the Atlantic Ocean Road. 8 kilometres, 7 bridges, and rated by the Guardian newspaper as one of the greatest roads in the world. It was great, but I think maybe the Guardian journalists slightly over-egged the accolades. Still, the detour was very welcome and there is certainly magic there, acting almost as a serpentine gateway to a wonderfully ever-changing and dramatic road trip that followed.
Pretty dramatic landscapes. Just 20-30 kilometers back there were loads of trees, and now here we are, no trees, nothing, just flat rocky landscapes, and the Arctic Circle is less than a kilometer away.
If the Arctic Circle isn't covered in snow, then I think grey and moody with a chill in the air is the next best thing. Past travellers had piled stones leaving their mark on this special place. 66 degrees welcomed us to the far north, and we felt a new chill in the air. Next stop, the ferry to Lofoten.
Just got on the ferry to Lofoten
Very excited.
from Bodo or Boda, something like that.
Should we sit down?
Yeah.
So it's a 4-hour crossing over to Lofoten, and the weather looks like it might be a little bit of a lumpy one.
Feel sick. Here we are. We have arrived in Lofoten.
That crossing was a struggle.
I know.
I was unwell.
Wow, that
It is blowing a gale.
is hectic. So at the end of the peninsula, which is about 200 meters away from here, it is Gale Force. Literally, I was trying to make films and I couldn't hold the camera
He was
straight.
standing at an angle like this, trying to fight the wind. It's amazing.
I don't know. So this place here, this is called Or. It's an A with a little round dot on the top of it. It's the very end of the Lofoten Islands. There are a couple of islands detached from the mainland, but this is basically where you can drive to. And we will be driving from here now, basically back up all the way through the Lofotens.
So these little berries we've just discovered using the very cool app called Seep are a bog bilberry, which doesn't sound that delicious, but they are actually delicious. And Google says we can eat them.
Yum yum, let's try.
Delicious.
Not quite the same as cooking pizza in the Sancter.
No, very different. It is cold and windy, and it's proving quite a challenge just to keep the flame lit.
Looks delicious. What are we having?
We're having lots of vegetables and some pasta. hopefully with a bit of an avocado sauce and some spinach. Sorry, the chili got blown in the wind, so it's going to be also very spicy.
Nom nom.
Yum yum.
The bag from under the bed has had to come out this morning.
Oh, it's so cold. This bag's got all our winter stuff. I didn't think we'd need it.
No, I didn't think we'd need it either, but it's 7 degrees at the moment here in Lofoten.
Our first day in Lofoten begins. Yeah, it's bloody cold. So I'm just making us some breakfast burritos for breakfast. Then we're going to take a little drive around the island and see what we can find, and probably end up having a nice big hike somewhere.
All the places that their best friends go, and every time you go away, I never wanna say goodbye. So we take it slow, let the seeds of love beneath.
This is a typical scenario of me standing around waiting for Tara to do something. I'm not sure what she does in that van. We eventually got out of the car.
I'm fresh.
And we're heading off for a walk to a beach. The wind in this clip was so loud and so noisy, and the rain horizontal, that you couldn't hear us speak when we played this clip back to us. What we're saying is, let's get out of here and go and have a cup of tea. Tara's basically twisted my arm because of this morning's walk. We have to now go and have a cup of coffee and a hot chocolate and a cinnamon roll.
I'm really happy. Another day, another hike. Today we're going up to a place called Glomstad, which apparently has beautiful views.
Didn't she say that well? What was it?
Glomstad.
Glomstad. Very good.
We're getting better. I was expecting 400 metres of steps, but we're being met with a lovely, easy gravel road. And let it be noted, I have to carry the bag.
She carried the bag for 5 minutes.
I got hot.
Say that again. Say it again.
I am very spoiled.
She is. She is. So, 2 days, it's been rainy, there is some sun on the horizon over there, but it's still pretty chilly.
It is.
What do you want to do this afternoon? Something special?
Eat seafood.
Seafood.
We gotta do it though. We haven't had seafood once this whole trip.
Well, we had cake yesterday.
Yeah, and seafood today.
We're going to a fishing village called Hennings.
That was right.
Good. And we are, I think we're going to have some fish that's called bacalao.
Bacalao.
Bacalao. Yum yum. Just ordered bacalao in this very, very funky restaurant. Was going to get a beer with it.
It's a tenner.
It's a tenner. So, cheers. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Good.
Mm-hmm. It is not all mountains and hiking on van life. Today's a van life admin day because the weather is horrific. So I'm off to do some laundry.
So it's our last day in Norway and we've decided to use the most expensive washing machine. Well done.
Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Next, we're off to Finland in search of Rudolph, Father Christmas, and even Yogi the Bear.
Yogi the Bear?
Oh, he's from America, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.